Would you be able to do this? 632 times by 17? If not, this video is for you. I think you should memorize your times tables all the way up to 12, but beyond 12, there's no point in memorizing it if you can just use methods like this, right? And especially for crazy numbers like that. So first I'm going to solve this and then I'll talk you through it, okay? So how would I approach this question? So the first thing I do is I take my 7, because I always start on the right side, and I times the 7 with the 2. 7 times by 2 gives me 14. So I put the 4 underneath and I put plus 1 here. Now I'm going to do 7 times by 3, which gives me 21, plus 1 gives me 22. So I'm going to put 2 here and I'll put plus 2 here. Now I'm going to do 7 times by 6, which gives me 42, and 42 plus 2 gives me 44. So I'm going to put 44 here. So 7 times by 632 gives me 4,424. Now I'm going to take a step down, like that, because I'm now dealing with a 10, right? So I need to push everything one place that way. I could put a 0 here instead, but I like doing this step down. So I take a step down, so I could put a 0 here. And then I'm going to deal with the 1. So I'm going to do 1 times by 2, and 1 times by 2 gives me 2. So I'm just going to put 2 underneath. Now 1 times by 3 gives me 3, and 1 times by 6 gives me 6. Alright. And now I just need to add these up. So I'm going to do, switch to blue, so I'm going to do 4 plus 0, which gives me 4, 2 plus 2, which gives me 4, 4 plus 3, which gives me 7, and 4 plus 6, which gives me 10. So the answer is 10,744. I could have done it way faster, obviously, but I was explaining it at the same time. So let's just make sure I got it right. 632 times by 17. Bada bing, bada bong. We got it. Let's come up with another one. Give me some numbers, guys. What was that? 17 times by 83. Okay, let's do it. That's fine. Okay, so the way we do it is we start from the right side. Oh, sorry, I should be pointing that way. We start from the right side, okay? We start from the right side always. So we always start from this side. Now, I like to pick the bottom right number always. I always just pick the bottom right number first, and I times everything individually by that number, okay? You could kind of split them all up like that if that makes it easier for you, okay? So that's another way you could think about it. So I always start with the 3, the bottom row. So I'm gonna do 3 times by 7. Now what's 3 times by 7? 21. So I'm gonna put the 1 here, but the 2 from the 20 I put on top of here, okay? And now I'm gonna do 3 times by 1, which gives me 3, and then I'll add the 2 to my answer. So I do 5. So I put 5 underneath. Now I'm gonna do my multiplications with the 8. So now we're dealing with the 8, and since I'm gonna multiply everything by the second number, I have to take a step down. Since, what is this 8? This 8 really is 80, right? So I multiplied 3 by 17, which gave me 51. And now I'm multiplying 80 by 17. So I need to shift one way that way since I got a 0 at the end. You know what I mean? Because it's 80. So every calculation would actually have a 0. Okay. So I'm going to do 8 times by 7. And 8 times by 7 gives me 56. So I'm going to put the 6 here, but I don't put the 5 down, because I'm going to add the 5 to the 1, right? I already done the 2, I can just get rid of it, just not to get confused. So now I'm going to do 8 times by 1, which gives me 8, and I'll add the 5, which gives me 13. So I'm just going to put 13 down, because there's nothing else to add the 1 to, so I just put the 13 down. And now we just add them up. Bada bing, bada bong. So 1 plus 0 is 1. 5 plus 6 is 11. 3 plus 1 is 4, 1. So 1,411. So 17 times by 83. Yes, 1,411. Right, let's do a few more examples. Let's do them together. Let's come up with some numbers. let's do 63 times by 521. Alright, pause the video now, try it yourself, let's see if you remember the method. If not, do it with me one more time. Okay, hope you paused and tried it. Now let's see if you got it right. So 1 times by 3 gives me 3. 1 times by 6 gives me 6. Step down. 2 times by 3 gives me 6. 2 times by 6 gives me 12. There's nothing else to add the 1 to, because there's nothing here, so I just put that 12 straight away. Now, I'm doing the 5, so I'm doing another step down, and I'm gonna do 5 times by 3, which gives me 15, so I put the 5 here, I add the 1 to the 6, and I'm gonna do 5 times by 6, which gives me, drumroll, 30. Plus 1, so 31. Now we have to add all of them up. Bang, so we get 3, we get 12, we get 8, we get 2, and a 3. Okay. Yeah, 32,823. Alright, we got it. Decimals first. How do I deal with decimals? So let's do like 6.72 times by, let's do 0.3. Why not? I always start on the right side, so I just have to deal with the 3. So I'm going to do 3 times by 2. That gives me 6. Now I'm going to do 3 times by 7. That gives me... What does 6 times by 7 give me? 3 times by 7. 3 times by 7 is 21. So I put the 1 here, but I put the plus 2 here. No, plus 2 goes here. And then I'm going to do 3 times by 6, which gives me 18 plus 2, which gives me 20. So I put 20 here. Now, that's literally what I do. I don't have to do anything with the 0, because 0 times by anything is 0. So that's the only calculation I had to do for that one. But now, obviously, I need to put the decimal place somewhere. How do I do that? I just count the amount of places, all the decimal places moved in both of the numbers have to times together. So let me show you, it'll make more sense. Look. So here, the decimal place moved 1, 2 places, right? And in this one, it moved by 1 place. So in my answer, I have to move the decimal places by 3 places. So 1, 2, 3. You see that? So the decimal place has to be here. So the answer is 2.016. Okay, so let's try this. So 4 times by 1 gives me 4. 4 times by 2 gives me 8. 4 times by 8 gives me 32. Now I take a step down because I'm going to be doing the 6. So I do 6 times by 1, which gives me 6. 6 times by 2, which gives me 12. So I have to add 1 here. And then 6 times by 8, which gives me 48. Plus 1, 49. Okay. Now the 7, let me just rub this out so I don't get confused. So now the 7 times by 1, step down. 7 times by 1, 7. 7 times by 2, 14. So 4 plus 1. 7 times by 8 gives me 56 plus 1, 57. Okay, now we need to add all of them up. So we get 4. 8 plus 6 gives me 14 again. Then I have 12. And then I have 17. And then I have 12 again and 6. So the answer should be 627, 244. 627.244. There we go. We got it. All right. So you can come up with your own examples easily, right? Just come up with some numbers and then just try timesing them together. And then just play around with this method until it clicks. So I hope this helps someone. And yeah, I'll see you in the next one.